This video will show you how to navigate My Spanish It's Learning page, especially for those of you who are seventh graders and are still getting used to the amount of classes that you're going to have and having to navigate through those as you get started on the Bridge program. I wanted to take some time so that you could see exactly how to navigate, what to look for, and where you can find some of the resources. As we go through the school year, if you have questions, if you're in the Bridge program, you want to first direct those to Mrs. Kane, and we'll go from there. Now, this is the startup page, so when you go and click for Spanish, you're going to end up here. Okay, and there's a couple of things that I want to point out. First of all, you'll click this link here for today's lesson. It'll have detailed instructions on what to do for today. As we look throughout here, if there's any e-learning situation, that'll be here, although these will kind of be a mixed situation here. I'll kind of update as we go what we've learned, just so we can have a mental note of that. As we look on the right column here, anytime we have homework, I'll go ahead and put that here. I'll put the date it was assigned and the date that it's due, so it's very clear. Now, homework and participation activities like classwork are separate categories, and so typically what we'll do is we'll have a grouping of work that is due at the end of the week if it's a participation activity. And so I'll have listed out exactly what we did throughout the week. And each week you'll have 10 points of participation that needs to be completed. And so we want to make sure that we have time for that. Typically on Thursdays, I will give us some extra time in class so we can be working on participation that we have started throughout the week, so that you can kind of catch up if you've missed days, or just catch up if you got a little behind. I have a reminder of the Tyro homework policy. If you're not a Tyro, I still adhere to this policy because most of my students are Tyros and I'm officially part of the Tyro team. So if you're an eighth grader and you're like, wait, my teachers don't do that, I do go by this policy. So the policy is just a simple reminder. If you turn your homework in and on time, you'll usually get full credit for my class. It's usually for participation unless I say otherwise. I really just want you to give it a shot without fearing that you're going to get them all wrong. And then the late work policy is that after one day, you're going to get a 30% taken off. So your maximum score is a 70%, which is a C minus. And if it's 2 or more days late and up to a week late, then your highest grade you can get is a 50%, which is an F. If it's turned in over a week late, then it's a 0. I'll still give you feedback on it, but it'll go down in the grade book as a 0. Here's my contact information. There's my email, and you can always send me a message on It's Learning, and you go through there. There's a little bit about me. It's in Spanish, and there's some pictures there of my family. So a couple of things. If you ever are looking for resources, what you can do is you can click here, resources. Now, some of the things you're going to see here, you won't see on your page quite yet, just because I have these in, but they're not visible for students quite yet. But just so you can see where to go, we're obviously going to start out with chapter 1. And so if you're ever looking for the resources that we've been using, we want to go ahead and click here. And this is where you're going to find the resources. Now, I will unlock these as we get to them. And so you can access these as we go. You can also find these on today's lesson. So if you click that link on the front start page, the resources that we used on a given day are right here. And if you are looking for a previous day, you can scroll down here to past lessons, and that'll give us this page. As of now, obviously, we don't have many days, but you can go to the date that you're looking for and you can find those resources. So some people think in different ways, they organize themselves in different ways. So if you are like, oh, I remember we did that on Tuesday, you can go back to Tuesday, you can find the resources here. Or if you're one who remembers the names of the different assignments or the different resources, you can come just straight to the resource folder under whatever chapter we are currently on. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. If you're a Bridge student, please go through Mrs. Kane to start, and we'll go from there. If you are in class with me, you can ask me in class. You can always send me a message.